Greetings gamers, I'm Anto and we are rapidly approaching that time of year, so I wanted to put together a gift guide to inspire you on what to get the gamers in your life. Or you can send this video to a friend or family member and give them some inspiration on what to get you. So let's dive into it. This video is sponsored by the DMs Guild, more on them later. All the items on this list are either things I personally own and use, or they're items on my wish list. There'll be affiliate links to everything down in the description below, and using these links helps support the channel without costing you a penny. It's win-win. To kick things off, we have Tashas Cauldron of everything. The newest release from Wizards of the Coast offers dozens of new subclasses and a whole suite of new options. While a lot of the content is updated unearthed arcana or reprinted from other books, which meant that I didn't enjoy it, if you're a newer DM or someone who doesn't keep up with every single release, this is a great addition to your collection. It's filled with new character options like new subclasses and ways to build your character, new group patrons for you to be part of, and a whole bunch more. And for DMs, there's a new suite of tools covering everything from running a session 0 to including the new sidekick rules in your game, and even a whole bunch of puzzles that you can just insert into your game. You can check out my review of the book right up here. Item number 2 on the list is The Oath of the Frozen King adventure by Absolute Tabletop. I'm usually not one for Reading published material, but this adventure really caught my eye with its emergent, almost procedurally generated approach. The whole premise of this adventure is that it's built as a series of pieces that you kind of weave together as the game unfolds, so there's not really one way to play it, and each playthrough will be different. The adventure includes loads of information for running it at different levels, and it's perfect to use for a one-shot when you're short on time. It's got maps that can be moved around or randomly generated, it's got custom NPCs, new monsters, and it's filled with helpful tips and awesome artwork. This is a great option to run as an intro game for new players. It's much shorter than Lost Mines, so you don't need as much buy-in from your players, and the modular random nature of the adventure will mean that it stays fresh for you as a dungeon master across multiple playthroughs. Pick up the PDF or the printed book from DriveThruRPG, link below. Next up, we have a pair of books on map making from Jared Blando, one for making broader fantasy maps and the other for making cities. These books are filled with great advice on how to make maps for your games, and they're a great starting point if you're looking to get into map making. This book covers the whole map making process, from drawing coastlines all the way through to adding details like map borders and more. It's a great intro to drawing maps, particularly by hand, though there are some tips in there for digital creation too, but if you're interested on getting started in hand drawing maps, this is absolutely the book to start with. If you want to see how I make my maps digitally, I've got a playlist where I made the Empire of Sengal, going from a rough outline all the way through to a finished map complete with natural resource locations and political borders. You can check that out up here. Next up is Dungeon Mayhem. If you're looking for a D&D themed card game that's quick to play and pitch you against your friends, Dungeon Mayhem is the game for you. This little game includes cards for 4 different player class options and allows you to control a variety of RPG archetypes, including the sneaky tiefling rogue or the half-orc barbarian. The aim of the game is to eliminate your opponents and be the last adventurer standing. It's fast-paced fun, and the cards that represent your attacks and abilities are beautifully illustrated, and some of them are just straight up hilarious. I carry a copy of this game pretty much everywhere I go. I keep it in the bag I use as a dungeon master, and it's great to pull out if you've got 10 minutes to kill while you're waiting for the last person to arrive on game night. There's also a Monsters expansion which introduces several new characters and has some of the most adorable art I've ever seen. Keeping with things that I keep in my DM bag, we have a book of grid paper. Now, there are no fancy bells or whistles here, it's just a book filled with gridded paper, and it's really useful for sketching out dungeon maps, or even better, letting your players map out the area based on their perception of your description. I always carry this in my DM bag, even if I haven't planned a map for the session, because it's really useful if you suddenly have to draw one for your players. To check out what else I carry in my DM bag, check out this video. Ho ho, how's it going everybody? If you're enjoying this video, please throw a like down below to keep the algorithm happy, and leave a comment telling me what your favourite Christmas movie is. If you couldn't guess by my t-shirt, mine is Home Alone. And if you're enjoying the content, hit the subscribe button. It's like giving me a Christmas gift, but it's free. Only 1/5 of you are currently subscribed, and I know that we can pump those numbers up. I want to get to 25,000 subscribers in 2021, and I need your help to do it. Thanks, I love you. Now, let's get back to the list, shall we? Number 6 is the Young Adventurer's Guide. If you've got a young person in your life that's shown an interest in RPGs, or you want to introduce D&D to a younger audience, these adventure guides from Wizards of the Coast are a fantastic choice. The series of book covers everything from the races and classes available to adventurers to the monsters that they might fight in the world or the gear that they might find and loot. They're written in a simple and easy to understand language, and the art is beautifully illustrated. They're not rule books, so they're not going to teach the little ones in your life how to play the game, but they are evocative and will help spark their imaginations and make them actually want to become adventurers. Now, if you're playing in person and you want to take your game to the next level, miniatures are a great way to do this. Now, there's a lot of different choices for where to get your miniatures from the official WizKids line to Reaper Bones or even Games Workshop. But whatever miniatures you end up with, you're probably going to want to paint them. So number 8 on our list is a paint set from Army Painter. These sets include a variety of colours that work well together, as well as a selection of brushes to get you up and running when you're painting your miniatures. They even have a set themed on D&D, which is a great entry point if you want to get started into miniature painting. Keeping along the line of things that are great to have if you're running your game at the table are the spell and monster cards from Gale Force 9. These card decks include all the spells available to specific classes and all the monsters within a certain group, and they're an excellent way to manage your information both as the DM and as the player. As the DM, you can keep the cards behind the screen for quick reference rather than flicking through the monster manual, and you can show the players the art from the cards when they encounter a monster. As a player, the cards are a great way to arrange what spells you have available for the day, and they've got rules references right there on the cards, so you don't have to go searching through the books or on your character sheet. I'm a big fan of anything that cuts down on the time we need to spend flicking through the books or poring over character sheets, so these are a must-buy in my opinion. Now, another great option for RPG-themed gifts is something handmade. There's a thriving community of artisans making accessories and RPG-themed gifts online. Etsy is a really great starting point to look for people making all kinds of cool stuff relating to tabletop games, from dice trays and dice to coins, custom character books, and all sorts of other things. My personal favourite is the Speechless Bard, who make amazing looking leather crafts, including book covers and keychains, and some really awesome looking bracelets, which I actually have on my Christmas list. I'll leave links to a few of my favourite crafters down in the description below. The last item on my list is another one for kind of at the table play, and it's the class token sets from Gale Force 9. Now, these are relatively new products, but they look like awesome accessories for players and include a variety of status tokens to keep track of your character effects at the table. It also includes a mini character board to track your core stats during combat, so you're not having to kind of look through your full sheet all the time, and they come in a custom tin, and I think they'd make a great accompaniment to kind of the spell cards. Pair both of those with a nice set of themed dice, and you've got an amazing gift set for the player in your life. This video is sponsored in part by the DMs Guild. The DMs Guild is the home of third-party 5th edition content online and allows creators to publish materials using Wizards of the Coast IP, meaning you get new adventures set in your favourite settings, as well as expansions based on official product. The DMs Guild is packed with content to help you improve your games, from the new Puzzle Master book from the Guild Adepts, which gives you expanded puzzles to put in front of your players, to the Arctic survival house rules of Icewind Dale by the Dungeon Code. The DMs Guild is always the best place to go after a new release to find a bunch of awesome supplement material to make the official books even better. One that I've been enjoying reading through this week is Tashas Crucible of Everything Else by QL Games, which adds even more character options like the Inquisitor Cleric subclass, as well as more DM options. But it's not just new hotness that gives you cause to visit the guild, there's a huge back catalogue of content to explore on there. My personal favourite is the Monster Loot series by Anne Gregerson, which gives you options for harvesting every monster in the monster manual, and it's a fantastic way to get that kind of Witcher or Monster Hunter vibe into your game. Or if you want something completely different, you can check out something like Friendly Woken Friends by Bob Willbuilder, which gives you an adorable good aligned spin to traditionally evil aligned characters. You'll find links to all of those products mentioned in the description below, and what's more, until February the 1st, 2021, you can get $5 off any purchase of $15 or more when you use the code Icarus Guide at checkout. So make sure to check out the DMs Guild, and thanks again to them for helping to support what I do. That wraps up my list of gift suggestions, but I'd love to know what your must-have gifts for this year are down in the comments below. I'll have links to all of the gifts I've suggested and some of the most popular ones from you in the description. But until next time, happy gaming. Somebody waits for you. Okay, I'm ready for Christmas. Let's do this.